Hello, hello. Welcome to Card-a-Palooza. I am Delisa Hawking, a fifth generation psychic medium. This is the second time we're doing Card-a-Palooza. Last week's live stream was super successful. People seem to have really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I've been receiving notifications that people are starting to get their envelopes from last week. And so, if you've joined me for the last live stream on April 9th, those envelopes were mailed out last Friday, so 6 days ago. And you may be getting those in the mail at any point. It really kind of depends on how your local post office is. Like, are they running efficiently? If so, you might get yours a little bit quicker. But be on the lookout for that bright pink envelope in your mailbox. It should be arriving any day now. So, thank you to everybody that participated last week. And now here we are, April 16th. We're back for week number 2. We do have 9 envelopes still available. The VIP one sold out really fast. Um, but we still have the regular envelope, which is just as good. But those are available. We have 9 of those, both for US and international. So, Campbell, my assistant, my amazing assistant, is in the live chat as a moderator. And so she'll be dropping information as we go along. If you have any questions, she'll be in there. And I am pinning the comment with the link to the top of the live chat. So even if you have purchased one for yourself, if you do want to grab one for a loved one and grab one of those last 9 envelopes, you can do that just on the order form, put their name, their information, so I can tune into their energy when I pull their envelope. Okay, so we are doing another prize for this week. So everybody that purchases an envelope is also eligible to win this week's bonus prize. If the oracle cards and the letter from the universe weren't enough, there is a prize this week. So I will pull the winner for that at the end of today's live stream. The gift, the bonus prize, is a necklace. It's actually a necklace called the Love Stone. It's really pretty, very dainty. You can keep it for yourself or you can give it to a friend or a loved one as a gift. It says on it, reawaken the heart to its own innate love, romance, passion, intimacy, nourish tenderness, and strengthen bonds of love. It has a dainty rose quartz in the middle of the necklace, and it's 14 karat gold filled sterling silver, and it's handmade in Los Angeles. So this will go to one lucky winner today. So we will do that at the end of the stream. Let's see if I had any other. Oh, yeah, I want to show you the decks we're going to be using today. So, 2 of them are kind of sassy, so just get ready. Be in that mindset today, because this is the kind of mood I was in when I was picking out decks for this week. So, we have Blocked and Blessed. And if you're wondering where to find these cards, I do have them linked on my website, spiritandspark.com, and click on Card-a-Palooza, and I have the decks linked there. We have the Dead Inside deck with skeletons on them. And then I was like, okay, well, we need to have another one that can be like the card. I mean, if it were me, I would be taping these ones up and putting them somewhere where I can see them. Um, but I did feel like we needed a third deck that could kind of round it out in case you wanted to tape up your affirmation card. So this is the deck that we'll be using that will have an affirmation on it. Okay. Um, but super fun decks this week. Okay, let's see. Oh, and just a reminder, if you're happening to stumble upon this video and you have no idea what we're doing, I will be picking an envelope for each person. I have all the envelopes here off to my side here, and so when it comes to the person that I'm going to be tuning into, I'll be looking at their name. and then selecting the envelope that kind of jumps out to me. I'm a psychic medium, and that when I scan envelopes, one of them actually feels like it kind of jumps, and that's the one I end up picking for the person. So, and then it gets mailed to you with the oracle cards, the letter from the universe, and then you'll have a sticker inside, like a positive affirmation sticker. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But if you're not on the email list and you aren't getting the notifications, make sure you go over to spiritandspark.com and put yourself on there so that you can get future email notifications. Also, a quick note, Campbell is noting the timestamps. And so if you are wondering where in the video your envelope got pulled, make sure you check the website, spiritandspark.com, click on Card-a-Palooza, and you can actually see that. So I'll have those posted for the next few days after we get done with the live stream tonight. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I think I got through all my notes. So yay! Looks like we have Alice. Alice, thanks for being a channel member, as well as Linda. Thank you as well. Yeah, say hello. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear that. And yeah, Diana, happy to jump on here and do this. I know that it was well received last week, so I'm excited to do this again. Hot Florida, Victoria says. And Diana's saying Michigan. Hello, Michigan from Southwestern Ontario. Oh, I love that. Cool. Okay. And if you have a friend or a family member that's into this kind of thing, send them the video. Tell them to come join us. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay. So let me go ahead and start pulling the first one. I'm going to set the intention and we will get started. The first person on our list today is going to be Katrine. So let me go ahead and set our intention. Asking the spirit to only bring forward that which is in the highest and best interest of the person that I am selecting an envelope for. I trust that the information that is coming forward today is in the highest and best interest of everyone here, everyone listening. I ask you to please bring forward information that is not only for the person that we're pulling that envelope for, but anyone that is viewing this video or a part of this live stream. Please also include information that will help them, so that we're treating it like a group experience where we leave this live stream tonight and this video replay feeling uplifted, that not only we got information for our envelopes, but also that we got information that we can carry forward into our lives and to help our lives feel a little bit more peaceful and have a little bit more flow, and only allow the highest frequency, dimension, and light to come forward, surrounding all of us in beautiful gold high frequency. Taking a big deep breath. And so it is. And so it is. Katrine, let's see what envelope you get. Let's see which one jumps for you. You're getting an orange envelope. I have different colors this week. And then let me pull a bonus card. Oh, you get a mermaid one. Cool. Okay. So, like I said, these cards are a little sassy, so get ready. The first one, messy doesn't mean powerless. It says on here, chaos is your superpower. Use it wisely. This card is the theme of acceptance, chaos, and self-compassion. The other card is dodging growth like it's homework. Fear of change, comfort zone. And then your affirmation card is yes, I choose to activate a spirit of resilience. I choose to activate a spirit of resilience. Ooh, Katrine, what I'm feeling as I'm looking at your cards is spirit saying use chaos as fuel. So anything that's going on that feels like you want to hide under the covers, you want to hide away from it, Spirit saying embrace it. Embrace it. Almost like feeling chaos as your badge of honor, like that they're showing this vision of you with this cape on, remembering that you can get through anything. And so, if there is some kind of challenge going on right now, I would say try not to hide symbolically under the covers, but instead put your cape on and embrace the messiness, knowing that you're setting an intention to get through it. Not only get through it, it feels like releasing any of the drama, any of the stuff that's felt disorganized or soupy, that you are able to not only get through the chaos, but actually come out the other side feeling much stronger, much more confident. Feels like the summer is going to be a real pivot point for you, where it feels like you'll have more confidence in being able to get through anything. So I'd pay attention to July and August because they feel like big transition months for you that feel really positive and feel like they're going to give you a lot of momentum. So thank you. I appreciate that. And your mermaid card says waves of power. I didn't even look at that. And I'm talking about, your Kate, your superpowers. It says, "We the mermaids feel a gathering of pure personal power. Where do you wish to share this influence? Choose intuitively, instinctively, and know that the time for you to use your power for positive change is now." I love that. It's totally fit what I was getting as the vision for you, um, without even looking at it or reading it. So I'll get this off in the mail to you. So your envelope will be orange. So keep an eye on that. Yeah. So let me get this assigned to your envelope so that I don't get disorganized. Speaking of that, because Spirit just mentioned getting through things, being better for it. So I'll get this off to you. Thank you. Okay, next up is Victoria S. from Brooklyn, Michigan. I didn't know there was a Brooklyn, Michigan. So let's see. This is the one that wants to go with you. If I could get my little pieces of paper. So, Victoria, see what cards you get. Let's pick your bonus card as well. Trying not to lose it. Look at the skeleton with the volcano going off in the background. Look like, yeah, trying not to lose it. Everything is okay. Like grin and bear it, right? It says keywords are tension, suppressed rage, and pressure. Your other card here is you changed your whole vibe to be easier for them. Ew. The keywords are authenticity, rejection, and self-honor. Your affirmation card is I rest in knowing that my best is enough. My best is enough. So what I get from those three cards is this feeling of taking off masks, taking off any form of pretending um, for other people, putting yourself first, making yourself a priority in your own life. If there's anyone that you felt like you're going to blow for, meaning like if you're really ticked off about something or agitated about something, try to notice if there's a boundary that got crossed that you're trying to like reactivate again. Meaning, if somebody is making you mad, what's the boundary you can have in place so that you stand up for yourself more? Where in your life have you been the version that you think other people needed you to play? So it feels like you're really stepping into your own authentic self. It feels like freedom, it feels like liberation. With you, it feels like you get a lot of this shifting in the next 6 weeks. So, your bonus card says, "By refusing to bend on our values, we become unbreakable, solid and stable, courageous and certain, men and women of valor, worth, and character. Let us build a life we are proud of." Ooh, I love that I didn't read that one either, and it fits completely what I was seeing in my vision, um, about what it is that Spirit's trying to tell you. I think you're in a season of your life right now where it's not about making things easier for other people, it's about standing up for yourself and being courageous. So if you feel like you're wearing any masks, I feel like in the next 6 weeks, you're gonna feel like you're gonna rip them off and say, "This is me, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it." Yeah. But yeah, you might wanna put the skeleton, volcano up to remind you of the boundaries that you are agreeing to, that you are setting into place as an act of self-love. So thank you, Victoria. I'll get that and your letter and your stickers off in the mail to you. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful. Let's take a look at who we have next. Robert. Robert P. from Roseville, California. Hey, Robert. Let's get Robert's name written down. Let's see what envelope jumps for you. And then let me pull your bonus card. Oh, so the skeleton card that you got says scrolling instead of healing. The keywords for this are numbness and mindless distraction. So the skeleton's in bed, like not reading the self help books, but instead scrolling on his phone. You got dots don't mean devotion. It's the lady like looking at her phone, seeing that there's dots, like somebody typing something into a text message. It says read energy, not typing bubbles. The keywords are intuition, patience, and awareness. The affirmation card that you got says, I open my hands and let love in. Today, I let things go and let love power in. Hmm. So, Robert, what I'm feeling with your cards is asking the universe, setting an intention that you have discernment around who and what is worth devoting your time and energy to. It's this feeling of putting your energy and your effort into people and things that have a good ROI, return on investment. So, asking the universe to give you discernment to show you who and what is worth investing your time and your energy into. Almost like taking a blindfold off is what I get in my vision as a clairvoyant is like taking the blindfold off and seeing people and situations around you more clearly. If there is some kind of self-help spiritual class that you've been thinking about taking, I'm also getting that. I'm hearing that through my clairaudience that passes over my right ear is to say yes. It feels like there's gonna be a class that is gonna come along your pathway if it hasn't already, that feels really, really aligned with what, where you're going. Yeah, it just I would reiterate the message of don't wait around for things that are not reinvesting back into you. Okay. So it feels more like an ROI. This feels actually really close in the energy field. So these themes may be coming up for you in the next 2 weeks. The bonus card you got says, setting my own course. So today I will realize that I'm powerless over other people's expectations of me. I'll think about what I want and consider how I respond to others' needs will affect the course of my life. I will own my own power and choose the course that's right for me. So putting yourself above maybe how you've been putting yourself in these different relationships and situations may be that you have been putting other people's needs above your own. Yeah, that's exciting. You'll have to let me know how this is showing up for you. And I did get a few emails from people over the last like 24 hours that gave me feedback about their cards and what's come up for them. And I had one person tell me that they didn't immediately know like what one of the oracle cards was about, but then over the course of the week, they figured it out. It became very, very evident. So um, keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. And, I'll get this out to you, Robert. So thank you. I appreciate you being a part of Card-a-Palooza. Round number 2. All right. So next up, I have Eva, and Eva is international, and I think it's Germany. I have to remember, like, the postal codes for international. Pretty sure it's Germany, and I'm pretty sure she told me that in an email. She sent me such beautiful photos of her town and just a lovely email, so thank you, Eva. So let's go ahead and pull your envelope. Um, so Eva, which one are you gonna get? Whoop, as they all fall over. Let's see what bonus card you get. Okay. So your envelope's gonna be hot pink. Okay. Your affirmation card is I know that I was made for something beautiful. That's a great one to tape up. I was made for something beautiful. Your skeleton card says laughing through the pain, humor as a shield and disguise. This card reminds me of, excuse me, pretending that everything is okay. What I feel with like him holding this microphone is where could you be just a little bit more honest about how you're feeling and to whom? And if you feel like there is an important conversation to have that you haven't had or something that's been on your heart that you've been thinking about for a while, you may want to consider chanting Om, where you just take a breath, Om, and hold it for as long as you can. I would do it with a little bit more like force and intention. Um, that feels like it'll help to open up your throat chakra. The other card says, "Honey, you're not on clearance. You're not on clearance. You're not on discount. You're not on the sale rack." It says, "Stop lowering your price tags for discounts." Keywords are dignity, worthiness, and self-value. So I'm wondering with these 2 cards, is there something, again, that you haven't said that you need to say out loud that has something to do with your value or how you've been treated and how you don't wanna be treated that way anymore? Whew. The bonus card says, "There is a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are." It's like staying true to your own values. So, with this energy, this feels like within the next 3 weeks, this energy is really going to come to fruition, and it's going to feel like there's going to be a conversation that's like rising up through your body that I feel like your heart's really going to feel like it wants to like come out and express itself. So watch for this important conversation in the next 3 weeks. But remember, you are not on the discount rack, the discount shelf. I love that. I will get this out to you in the mail. And if you hear something in the background, my vacuum decided it was time to vacuum. It's banging up against my office door. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, Eva, thank you. Okay. So, uh, Lavinia, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Lavinia, hello, I'm Delisa. Your mom, Eva, wanted you to have some of your own cards. So let me go ahead and get those pulled for you. Okay, let's see what bonus card you get. And let me pick your envelope for you. Okay. All right, your envelope's going to be orange. So, your affirmation card says, with each new day and each breath that fills my lungs, there is a fresh opportunity to live the life I've been dreaming of. So, what I get with that card is that each and every day when you wake up, you can take a big, deep breath and remember that each and every day, the universe stands with you. And there are blessings in each day. There are good things that happen in each day. So when you wake up in the morning, taking that big breath and remembering that the universe wants to bring you lots of goodness during that day. So maybe each morning make that a part of like your ritual of getting up in the morning and feeling excited about the day. It's this feeling, this thought that the universe really does have your best interest in mind. And you will be able to meet new friends. You'll be able to laugh. And will every day go perfectly? No, it won't. I'm not going to lie to you. It won't always go perfectly. But it's this belief, this knowing that each and every day will have a bit of magic sprinkled into it for you. The other two cards, this one says, 5 years ago was just a phase. The keywords are minimization, escapism, self deception. So this card reminds me of growth. It reminds me that who you are today is not who you're going to be necessarily a year from now, but that's a good thing because you get to grow and evolve and learn and meet new friends and decide what you like and what you don't like. And so just know that that's a natural part of the rhythm of life. And there's nothing wrong with you. And we're supposed to be getting better and evolving with time. And then the next one says, retrograde didn't cancel your to-do list. It's not the stars, it's your snooze button with the keywords procrastination, responsibility, and ownership. What's really funny about this card is he's in bed and he's got his alarm clock going off, and he kind of wants to blame everything going wrong on Mercury retrograde, which is when Mercury looks like it's going backwards from Earth's perspective. And so it looks like the planet's going backwards. But this card is really about not putting off the things that you need to do. So maybe it's chores that you need to do, maybe it's homework, maybe it's waking up at a certain time in the morning. This card says, do the things you need to do. And your mom may be asking you to do things that you're like, I don't want to do it. but it is for your own good and learning responsibility and what needs to happen, um, is a part of growing up, and I would suggest having something fun to do in the morning. It's like a little mini ritual in the morning that gets you really excited about the day ahead and what the universe has in store for you. And then, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you this mermaid card in your envelope. It says, "We the mermaids sometimes come to the water's surface to soak in the light and to breathe in the world of the air. It is time for you to stay above things, go higher and gain perspective." So it means like when you feel like frustrated or upset about something, see if you can take some big deep breaths and look at it from a different perspective. Maybe try to see it from someone else's perspective. Yeah. I love these cards. So hopefully that gave you some ideas of how to work with the energy, and I hope you enjoy your cards. Lavinia, thank you, and Eva, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll get these off in the mail. All right. Mary G is next from Port Clinton, Ohio. All right, Mary, let's see what cards you get. Let's pick your extra card here. I just have a bowl off to the side here. Okay, so Mary, see what envelope jumps for you. You're going to have a yellow envelope. Let's see what Mary's saying. Your affirmation card says, "I don't have to solve this all today. I just need to be brave, cling to hope, and do the next right thing." This is a card that says you don't have to have everything figured out right now. Just focus on what the next step is, the next small thing you can do. Because if you try to figure out all of the things you have to do, you might feel really overwhelmed. And so see what you can do to solve today or to figure out the next step. Okay. You don't have to figure out the whole staircase. Just figure out the next step. Okay. Your sassy cards. Let's see what you have here. You've got a skeleton holding a martini glass, and he says, "Sure, sounds great." Under it, it says, "Said yes when you meant to say hell no." This is resentment and self-betrayal. So who and what, Mary, are you saying yes to that you really want to say hell no to? Okay? This is the card that's calling you out to say you don't have to say yes to everyone and to everything. Your other card says sometimes it's just Wi-Fi level weak. There's a guy standing here, like, looking at his cell phone, and there's a plane coming up overhead. It says, "Not every soul tie is forever." Keywords are detachment, impermanence, and release. Okay. And then your extra card says balancing the brain. I can be and do. So let me look at these cards for a moment because Spirit just said in my ear, where are you selling yourself short? Um, whew, this feels like a big release. And it feels like it's connected to wanting to feel loved and approved of by other people on a deep level. Feels like that's what's the underneath energy with this. It feels like shifting out of what you've been saying yes to that you don't really want to say yes to, creating more space, more time, and then using that newfound time and freedom to put into things that you actually want to do. I'm also just feeling with this extra card that I pulled for you that you might want to look into working with binaural beats. They adjust your brain waves to like alpha state, theta state, things like that. It feels like it might help you to get clearer and almost like giving you permission to say no to the things you want to say no to. Nobody has to give you permission. You already have permission. But if you feel like you need help kind of sorting through that, you'll have tools like binaural beats. Sacredacoustics.com is the one I usually go to. I have no affiliation with them, but you may find an audio file on there, either the free one they give you when you put in your email address, or they've got a bunch of different ones in their library that you can purchase. But it's like I feel like I want to give you a bit more permission, even though you don't need it, to say no to the things you want to say no to. And this feels like in the next 30 days, they're showing me like the symbol of sweeping things. Like you may feel more clarity and take the action of what you're going to sweep out of your life in the next 30 days. So I will get these off in the mail to you, Mary. Thank you for being part of Card-a-Palooza. And I'll have your affirmation stickers and your letter from the universe in your envelope. Okay. Tracy Yu from Maricopa, Arizona. Hey, Tracy. Tracy is uh, a long timer. You know what's so fun about this is one of the things that's so fun? Part of Palooza is like a cross between people that have been in my circle that I've had the honor and the privilege of knowing over the last several years, decade, and then a bunch of new people. So it's fun to see a mix. So, Tracy, let's see what you get. Whew. Your envelope, Tracy, is going to be kind of a pale yellow. These are so funny. Okay, let's go with your affirmation card first. I hope that you find peace in your home, peace in your heart, peace in all that you are, and all that you are becoming. That's a good one. That's a good one to tape up somewhere. Mm. And all that you are becoming, the unfolding. The bonus card that I picked says, invoking self realization. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. What I just heard from Spirit is a reminder and a recognition of just how far you've come. They're saying in the last 5 years. So it might even be like a really good meditation that you do or journaling prompt that you write about really seeing and acknowledging how far you've come in the last 5 years. Give yourself some credit. I'm seeing in my mind's eye those words, and they're all underlined. Give yourself some credit. You do not have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You know that. Breathe, relax, release, surrender. I would wake up each morning setting the intention that the universe really is aligning you with what is truly in your highest and best interest. And then have the faith in knowing that everything that is unfolding is in your highest and best interest. So it's that act of surrender, act of faith. You got a skeleton that is in front of what looks like a chalkboard of some kind, and it says, over explaining everything, anxiety, insecurity, and rambling. Over explaining everything. Sometimes the over explaining of everything comes in because we feel like we have to explain, we have to justify, we have to give the person the reason why we're saying no, but none of that is actually true. You don't have to give context. You can simply say no if it's a no. So notice where you feel like in text messages and emails and conversations where you feel like you're adding extra to it because you feel like you want that person to understand. Um, it's okay. You don't have to over explain things. You can let them wonder. You can have them be a little bit mysterious about you and your intentions, and you don't have to reveal everything. So notice where you're leaking out energy by over explaining. And then you got professional situationship advice. It says invest in therapy, not texting back, healing, wisdom, and growth. So this actually fits what I was just saying, because this is the card that says you don't have to text them back. So in other words, you can keep things short and sweet. So feels like in these next 1 to 2 weeks, noticing where you're feeling like you're leaking out energy because you want the other person to feel more comfortable. And try to catch yourself and notice where it's coming in and where you're leaking that out. So not for because you'll I don't want you to have judgment about it, but just notice how it's leaking out so that you can try to button that up a little bit more. But the next week or two, I feel like you're going to see some examples of how that's showing up. And I think you'll start stopping yourself from oversharing and trying to make the other person more comfortable. Okay. So let me know how that shows up in the next week or two. You can always send me an email. You know, I love hearing from you. Ooh. And I'm sure there are folks out there that are listening that also resonate with that and feel like they've been leaking too much energy. When you don't leak energy and you understand that no is a complete sentence, it's like an act of self-love. Okay? So where do the boundaries, where can they get firmed up a bit? Vanessa R. Las Vegas. I know that place very well. Very well. Since I lived there for probably a combination of 20 years. This one is screaming at you. So let's pull that one. Let's do an envelope, Vanessa. Vanessa. You get a green envelope. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Your affirmation card says, today I take action over getting stopped by perfection. I will practice peace today. So, peace over perfection. Ooh, so notice where you feel like you've wanted things to be perfect or you've wanted to be in control of something, or you've wanted something to be a specific way, and try to breathe it out and let it go. Because remember, we can only be in fear or in faith at any given moment. So this card feels like it's trying to remind you to be more in faith and knowing that the universe has your back rather than trying to force the river or force the direction of how things need to go in order for you to be happy or for you to feel fulfilled or spirit saying relax more. I just saw like shoulders dropping. So notice where in your life you're feeling like really tight and see if you can breathe some space into that. And you can do that by acknowledging that there's always a flow and a rhythm that the universe is trying to weave and breathe into your life. And so if there's anywhere where you feel anyone or any situations or conversations that feel like they've been really tight, see if you can breathe that out and maybe do some I'm actually seeing third eye, like guided third eye meditations. You can do the throat, you can do the heart. You just type in guided meditation for I would do any of those chakras and start doing a couple of those a week. If you do the heart chakra ones, it feels like it helps to take the edge off. So maybe start there. You can also do a guided meditation for grounding that feels really, really helpful. Get your feet in some grass. You know it's hot there. Go find some grass. Put your feet in it. Go to the park. Lay out a blanket, maybe early morning or late evening where the weather's a little bit cooler. Allow yourself some breathing space. The bonus card says, instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. So if there are people around you that feel like stressed out, uptight, angry, frustrated, you don't have to take that on for them. So try to release and breathe that out of your body because it's not yours to hold on to. So notice if you're feeling agitated by something, notice if it's even something that's yours. Okay. You got stop. If they're stingy with chips, stingy with love. So if they're stingy with chips, they might be stingy with love, is what the card says. It says stop trying to save people who won't share their snacks. The keywords are reciprocity, fairness, and boundaries. So the people that you are investing in, are they investing in you? Is there reciprocity in your relationships of all kinds? And so somebody in your life is undervaluing you. I would pay attention to that. And I think your meditations, especially the guided heart meditations, will help you to see the situation and people more clearly so you can decide what you want to do next. Yeah, this card actually goes exactly with what I was just saying. It says seen, never replied, ghosted again. Rejection, silence, and confusion. So where are you investing in where you're not getting the return that you want? Who are you investing in that maybe feels like, gosh, I feel like intuitively you've already felt like there's been some kind of imbalance. And so this is about calling your own energy back into you and not investing in places that aren't investing back into you. Feels like this will come up and you'll have a few examples of this in the next 3 weeks. Ooh. Vanessa, I'll get these out to you. Listen, the post offices in Las Vegas usually are really, really slow. So we're gonna give this a blessing, but I will have it out in the mail to you. Okay. Mary M from Chicago, Illinois. Mary. Mary. Chicago's one of my favorite cities. I love that city so much. Oh, I need to get back there one of these days. Envelope for Mary. The jumper is orange. You're getting an orange one. Your affirmation card says, I see beauty in the part of me that I used to think were broken. I see beauty in the parts of me that I used to think were broken. That is embracing all of what maybe you thought were imperfections or failures. This is the card that says there are gifts and imperfection. And what's so beautiful about this, I was just looking at Brene Brown's books earlier today, and that's what I'm seeing with this. So if you're familiar with Brene with a B like boy, Brene, Brene, Brene Brown, I would look at her books. There's a book about the gifts of imperfection, and that's the one that I feel like aligns with what I'm getting as I tune into your energy, honoring all of the parts of you because they are ultimately what led you to who you are today and what you are becoming. Yeah. That everything you've been through is not wasted. Everything you've been through is wisdom. It's beautiful. They're also showing me my mind's eye right now. I can't remember. It might be Japan, but there's an art form that I also cannot remember the name of it, but you can look it up online where when a dish is broken, they save all the pieces of the dish and they actually glue them back together and it looks like a mosaic because they honor the parts that are broken and how that brokenness becomes the whole. And beautiful, beautiful. So it's kind of like don't discard the plate. Just recognize how it all has been puzzle pieces that have made you the incredible person that you are. The sassy cards say, thought it was a vibe. Red flags, fantasy, false hope is this card. He's on a roller coaster that has flames coming out of it. Thought it was a vibe. This other card says, signs everywhere. Volume is still on mute. Spirit is typing, but you're not listening. Guidance, awareness, and intuition. So this also feels like energy about discernment. That's what the card looks like. He's got his headphones on and he's like not paying attention. I just heard spirit say in my ear, where have you lowered your standards, Mary? Where have you been? Ooh, feels like something similar I was just saying a minute ago about like, where have you been investing that is not giving you a return on your investment? And asking for discernment and asking for the universe to show you where there are red flags. Not that I want you to manifest red flags, but just asking the universe, like, help me see clearly. Help me remove any blind spots that I may have. Yeah, they're saying in my ear that a lot of the energy that was just in Pisces astrologically that's now in Aries, it feels like there's a process going on right now where spirit's trying to get you to see like very, very clearly what the top priorities of your life should be and then letting go of the noise, the other things that have just kind of been filling space. And I'd also say it would be important for you to do things that are not the numbing things, not the distraction things. So if you've noticed that you've been numbing more, however, some people do it through video games or being on their phone looking at social media, maybe they're watching a ton of television. Just notice like, is there anywhere in your life that you feel like you've been numbing more? And can you see that as the numbing that it is? And then see if you can carve out some of that time to actually do something that feels more spacious for you. So, for example, go like what they're showing me is going on a walk without listening to music or a podcast or something. Literally just like go outside and see what you can hear in your surroundings. And then your bonus card says, we do not need to wait for perfect conditions. We will find perfection in progress. Don't wait for things to be absolutely perfect because they never will be. So if you've needed a nudge from the universe to say, when's the time? The time is when you make it the time. But try not to hold yourself back because you're waiting for perfect conditions. There will never be perfect conditions. So you can modify as you go along. The important part is to start. Okay. So thank you, Mary. Enjoy Chicago. Hopefully, I'll get there again one of these days. I tried to move there several years ago. It was when I was in the corporate world and I couldn't find a job there, so I decided not to move, but I tried. Chicago wouldn't have me. All right. And Mage. All right. Canada. Awesome. Yay. Canada. Let's see what you get. See this envelope? You get orange. Orange. Pull your bonus card. Your affirmation card says, when I choose to be here now, to feel to fill the air, fill my lungs, the earth beneath my feet, the sun on my skin, I allow joy to wash over me. So something that I'm seeing visually as I say that to you is, obviously try not to get sunburned, but they just showed you like standing out in the sunlight. And as you feel the sunlight on your skin, you feel the energy that is not yours, any energetic debris, like you feel it and you sense it and you let it go. Like allowing the sunlight and the fresh air to release any energetic debris or any heavy energy that's not yours or that has been yours. It's been kind of like hanging on. Um, this feels like it could be like a beautiful daily practice for you. It could literally take 60 seconds. It doesn't even have to take that long. But I would do like where the sun's coming on the front part, and then I would turn your back and have your back to the sun and have it clear and cleanse your energy on the back as well. Let's see what your sassy cards say. Treating drama as therapy. Treating drama as therapy. It says chaos, addiction, misprocessing. And then your other card says dead weight ain't a cute accessory. It's this lady trying to like carry a heavy suitcase. It says you can't glow if you don't let go. Release, transform, and liberation. So it makes sense why they were showing the sunlight thing with like letting go of the past, letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Whatever you've been carting around that feels heavy, let the sunlight dissolve it, let it go, release it, breathe it out of your body. So could be the like daily practice of using sunlight for dissolving the energy. That feels like the main message I'm getting here. Um, if you do have any like unresolved drama, even if it's something that happened a long time ago, you may want to journal about what drama have I not fully released yet and write about that, or who in my life was dramatic that caused chaos that I am going to now fully release and journal about that. You could even ask yourself, what's this big, heavy suitcase, symbolic suitcase that I've been carrying around and I'm done carrying it around? I'm letting it go. You move energy really, really fast. So this feels like something that you could even sit down and do in the next few days that feels like, wow, almost like your energy gets taken to like another frequency level, maybe one that you haven't been to much. Um, so it's like a leveling up for you. So I'd say in the next several days, you'll feel some resolution around this. But be curious if you do start the sunlight ritual, which I've never quite seen it like that. Let me know how you're doing with it. Send me an email. The bonus card says, let us not forget that our simple efforts and daily triumphs can gather weight and motion to become an unstoppable force towards a focused and free life. So I didn't even read that, and that backs up what I was just saying about your other cards. Yeah, but you shift things really, really fast. So it's more a matter of you getting the clarity about what it is you want to shift. I think that comes from the journaling, and then you just lift off. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. So whatever you've been doing for your energy work and practices is working. Like it feels like because everything's shifting so fast with your energy. Normally that shows up when in people that have been doing like spiritual practices. So good job. Whatever you've been doing has been working. So I'll get this in the mail to you. Thank you. Keisha M from Pensacola, Florida, if I could say that. Keisha. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, you get a yellow envelope. Keisha. Your affirmation card says, it's taken living through my darkest days to become the strongest version of me. So, again, something similar to what I was hearing earlier about the broken pieces, and that the darkest days, the darkest nights, the biggest challenges you've gone through has actually added to your strength. And I think it's in hindsight when you get through a dark night of the soul or you get through a major challenge. It's in the hindsight where you realize how much wisdom, strength, resiliency that you've gained as a result of the things that you've had to go through. So they're not wasted, the things that you have been through. Spirit's saying to tell you you're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know. You have the bonus card I pulled for you is rewiring the nervous system. It says, I find strength in surviving my traumas. So, really aligned with your affirmation card. So, you can look up different things to do to calm your nervous system. I'm hearing the word grounding for you. So, doing like guided grounded meditations, or just like I was saying a minute ago about taking a blanket to a park or having your feet in some grass, that would be really, really beautiful for you. I would recommend at least one guided meditation each week on grounding, and you can, mix it up and pick different ones. You might also feel called to do some kind of breath work class. And so if you feel or you see one come across your pathway, I'd recommend it. You can find some free YouTube breathwork classes and start taking some of those, because it feels like the breath work really opens and expands your energy, which feels like it creates more flow, more abundance. So breath work, I think, would be really, really cool for you. So you have to try it and let me know what you think. Your two sassy cards say, spiritual glow ups don't come with filters. Healing isn't aesthetic, it's awkward. Authenticity, struggle, and reality check. So it's like, honor your tears, honor what you've been through. It's not about presenting yourself in a certain way to people. This is about saying, this is what I've been through, and knowing that what you've been through ultimately makes you an even more incredible person. So you don't have to worry about what other people think of you. And Spirit just said in my ear to tell you, you are not too much. So anywhere in your life where someone's told you you're too much, you're too emotional, you talk too much, whatever the too much is, Spirit's saying, no, 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 no. They were misguided. So give yourself a big hug and remember that you are worthy. The skeleton card that you got says, convincing yourself it's fine, denial and emotional suppression. So again, it's like, let it out. You do not need to convince yourself that you're fine. If you're feeling something, let yourself feel it. Let yourself breathe and reflect. You do not need to hide your emotions from yourself, and you do not need to hide your emotions from other people. Okay? Ooh, Keisha. Ah. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you find that breathwork class and if you start taking like the YouTube free videos. And yeah, I'd love to hear how you do with that. So make sure you send me an email and I'll get this off in the mail to you. Kimberly W. from Vancouver, Washington. I know where Vancouver, Washington is. All right. Perfect. Let's see what you get, Kimberly. You're going to get a yellow envelope. Kimberly, what cards did you get? Your affirmation card says, I am strong, beautiful, and worthy. I choose today to rest in those truths. That's a good one to tape up for sure. I'm beautiful and worthy and strong. Ooh, breathe that in. You are strong, beautiful, and worthy. And ooh, feel that go through your whole body from head to toe. I feel like this needs to be taped up somewhere where you can see it every day and say it to yourself and breathe it in and affirm it through all of the cells of your body, like turning your cells on every morning. Every morning. Your skeleton card says overstimulated in public. Keywords are noise, panic, and sensory bombardment. So notice how you feel after you're around a lot of the public or groups of people, or you go into a busy place. If you're feeling drained or worn out, I would do some kind of energy clearing to get other people's energy off of you. I would say really honor yourself in, do I want to go to this? Do I not want to go to this? Because if you're really, really sensitive around groups of people or certain locations, I'm thinking of like a concert or an event that just has a bunch of people. It's okay to say, no, I don't want to go to that. But if you do go, you may want to put yourself in a bubble of energy that's protective and ask your spirit team to allow other people's energy to easily bounce off of you when you um, are in, groups of people and public places. So the price of being sensitive is being sensitive. You start picking up everybody's stuff. Um, So I would surround yourself with a bubble before you go in. And then after you get done with being around lots of people, I take just my hands and I start brushing off my body and saying, anything that is not mine, go back to source for healing. Be gone, be gone, be gone. I just do that a few times. And that's a quick and easy way to clear your energy. But I do think it's important. Then you got, not everyone gets a ticket to your next season. You're allowed to outgrow people, evolution, change, and freedom. So this would indicate a shift around people like friends, networks, groups that you're around. That there may be a change in that. Like you might enter a new group, you might find a new hobby, and that could mean that you don't have as much time for old groups that you used to be a part of. So trust your energy, trust what you feel like you want to lean into more of, and where you feel like, I don't feel energetically aligned, so I don't want to be there, or I don't want to be there as much. So just notice how you feel around different groups of people. And then you have the bonus card says, overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss. So it goes along with what I was seeing with these other cards, which is leaning into more how you're feeling around certain people and groups. And know that if there is a change around groups that you've been involved with, and now you're feeling like you don't want to be around them as much, know that the universe will always open another door and bring new people in that really resonate with your energy. So they'll never just like take people out of your life without creating an opening for somebody new to come in. So I would expect that there'd be some energy around this and kind of the change around what you feel you want to be around energetically. So notice how that comes up for you in the next 30 days. So thank you. Thanks, Kimberly. I'll get this and your letter and your affirmation sticker out to you. All right. Carmen M. Carmen M is next from Portland, Oregon. Sweet. Carmen. Let's see what you get. as my pen goes flying. You get a green envelope, Carmen. Your affirmation card says, I know who I am in the deepest part of my soul. It's up to me to own my story. I'm actually seeing this vision as I say that about you writing out your story. Mhm. It feels like it could be very cathartic for you, even if nobody ever sees it. But I would either journaling or on your computer, I would start writing out your story of the early years, what you've been through, what you've overcome, what you've learned. I feel like it's an act of self-love for you to put it out on a piece of paper or to get it typed up, honoring everything, almost like a memoir. That's what I'm getting the vibe on that. And yes, you can write and you can be creative and you can be expressive. Try to do it without judgment of yourself. But it feels like almost therapeutic to do that for you. So your sassy cards say, still not over it. Regret, looping thoughts, lingering feelings. So what are you holding on to? Maybe that's why I'm feeling this from spirit about you writing out your story and like the wisdom and the things that you've been through. Because I think it'll help you to release the parts of you that you still have been holding on to from the past. Maybe help you see it in a different way that can be cathartic and therapeutic for you. There is a woman I've done her writing class. I think it's a month long, 4 weeks, and it was really cool. I really liked it. She works with Alanis Morissette, and her name is Anne Randolph. So if you go on Google and just type in Anne Randolph, unmute yourself, you will find her program. It'll come up, and that feels like something you might be interested in, Carmen, and anybody else listening that feels like, I want to be more creative. I want to write more. Look up Anne Randolph, unmute yourself. Very reasonably priced. Um, but it really like gets you out of almost like out of your comfort zone or out of like your stream of thinking and gets you thinking of new things and being more creative. Your other card is accountability. Crystals can't replace common sense. And this guy's on here is holding all these crystals. You can't vibe your way out of accountability. So the keywords are responsibility, ownership, and maturity. So accountability, ownership, and maturity. Yeah, I just heard spirit say in my ear to tell you, own your story. Take it's like taking ownership for the things that you have done, not to like create punishment for yourself, but more like taking an honest reflection about your life and what you've done, decisions you've made, knowing that you have played parts for people in their life, they have played parts for you. So I feel like you're writing a memoir. You can email me and tell me I have lost it. But that is what's coming forward, and I have to honor that. Your bonus card is it says, "We the Selkies." This is a mermaid out of a mermaid oracle deck. See how much you do for others. Shed the skin of service and reconnect with the wild sea self that is your deeper truth. Do for yourself what you have so willingly done for others. So giving back to filling your own cup up. So this feels like a chapter where literally with your writing, a chapter of your life where it's more about you being in your own energy and not as concerned about everyone else and what everyone else is thinking. Yeah, so let me know about that memoir. That's really cool. So Carmen, thank you. I'll get these out to you in the mail. Okay. Charlie O from Mattydale, New York. Get a pink envelope. Charlie. Thanks for being a part of Card-a-Palooza, Charlie. Your affirmation card says, when I learn to release my tight grip and surrender control, I am met with the life that I was created to live. So, where do you have a tight grip, Charlie? Where do you have a tight grip? Where can you release control? Where can you lean into faith over leaning into fear? Okay. So, your skeleton card says overthinking hour, racing thoughts, insomnia, and loops. He's in bed, like his mind is all tweaked out on thoughts that are racing. Your other card here is unfollow equals self care. You can't heal while stalking his Instagram. Obsession, comparison, and freedom. Okay. So, where do you feel in your life that you have had obsessive thoughts? Where do you feel like your mind has been racing? Where do you feel like you've been going down a rabbit hole that feels like it could be more of a waste of time? With your racing thoughts, I am reminded by spirit that when your mind is racing, it means that your heart is not really involved. And so if you feel like that skeleton with all those racing thoughts, you feel like you can't quiet your mind down, or maybe it's not the thoughts you want to think that keep going on in your head. I would do guided meditations for the heart chakra. You can find on YouTube or the Insight Timer app. But if your head is going too fast, it's probably your heart is on a back burner. So if you activate more of the heart energy through meditation, you will find that you'll balance it out more. So I think that that could be an anecdote to racing thoughts or things that you keep like looping on that you can't like sort out. So you keep thinking about it, thinking that the more you think about it, the more it'll make sense. But actually do guided meditations for the heart chakra to help you actually find the clarity that you're seeking. And spirit wants you to hear that you are running your own race. You are not running someone else's race. Focus on what you're doing, your lane, and not comparing yourself to other people and where they're at on their journey. Just focus on your journey and your steps that you're taking. Your bonus card is approving of myself. So, a card of self worth, focusing on you, your lane, just like Spirit was saying, focus on your lane and not what other people are doing. And get in touch with your heart. It says, today I will let go of my need for approval and my need to be liked. Instead, I will choose to like and approve of myself. The people who count, including me, will respect me when I'm true to who I really am. So this feels like the word Spirit's using is a rebirth and an expansion of your heart energy. So I would say they're saying 2 times a week for guided meditations for the heart chakra between 10 and 20 minutes each, and do that for the next month, and it feels like you completely shift into a higher frequency. So please email me in the month after you get done doing the twice a week guided meditations for the heart chakra. I'd love to hear how you feel after that month. Yeah, and just run your own race. Thank you, Charlie. I'll get this out in the mail to you. Tracy G is up next from Brentwood, Tennessee. Hey, Tracy. Thanks for being a part of this. You are going to get an orange envelope. Your affirmation card says, even when I may not feel it, I am seen and known and loved for exactly who I am. This would be a really good one to put up somewhere, like on your bathroom mirror. I am loved for exactly who I am. This is the card that says, kind of like what's come up already a few times in this live stream of letting go of versions of you that you have played for other people to make them more comfortable. It's more now about being exactly who you are without apology. So, what do you value? What do you like? What do you not like? Getting clear about who you are, not the part that you play for so many people. We all play parts for people, but sometimes we can get a bit lost or swept up in the parts we're playing. So, how can you get back to what you want, what you like? Okay. So, your skeleton card says shopping to feel something. Keywords are emptiness, impulsive spending, and escapism. So, do you feel like you've been doing things that create numbness or create distraction? Do you feel like you've been overspending? Anytime we have a habit like shopping to feel something, maybe trying to cover up something or covering up a lack of confidence or a lack of self love. So, if you've been doing anything, you can just kind of do like a self audit. Like, have I been doing anything in my life that makes me feel better, almost like a dopamine hit? Have I been doing that so that I feel better, but then I realize it's temporary and it's a cycle, and then I end up doing it again because I want to feel better, and then it doesn't, So, where does the high wear off for you? Because it always wears off. The other card you got says block contact. Girl, blocking is free. Therapy isn't. Delete his number, not your self respect. Keywords are boundaries, dignity, and closure. Block block his number. So boundaries is the key word that I'm feeling coming up with those two cards. Spirit is saying in my ear to do a bit of a life audit where you're just noticing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis and asking yourself as you're doing it, is this filling my cup or is this draining my cup? And just simply asking yourself those questions so that you're choosing to do things and activities to help you feel more joy, more lasting joy, and getting clearer about you can meditate and journal on it, but why the heck did you come to earth right now? Because it feels like spirit wants to put you on more of like a direct path to activating your quote unquote purpose, like doing what you came here to do on earth in this lifetime. So, simply put, where do you feel like you might be wasting time? And what positive action or next step do you want to take towards more of your purpose and why you're here? And spending some of that wasted time doing something that aligns more with why you came here, Earth, right now. Your bonus card says, nothing remarkable in our personal growth can be achieved without opening to love and unleashing its joyful fire into the world. Joyful fire. I want you to do some journaling and some meditating on what creates joyful fire for you and how you want to bring that joyful fire out into the world more. So thank you, Tracy. I'll get these out to you. I appreciate you participating in Card-a-Palooza. All right, Angela Z from Lawton, Oklahoma. You are up next. Angela. Oh, so last week I was like singing and humming and stuff. I found out that YouTube counts that as like a ding on your channel, even if you're humming. Isn't that nuts? All right, Angela, let's see what envelope you get. Okay. Your affirmation card says, "Today I remember that my worth isn't found in another person's hands. Those whispers were never meant for me." This is a card about where have you been giving your power away and to who? Where have you wanted to feel more loved and approved of outside of yourself? How have you been trying to find external validation? It's a trap. It's all a trap. Spirit saying the only place you'll ever find lasting, true love and approval is inside of your own self and giving that to yourself. Ooh, where have you been bending to someone and in some way trying to feel more loved and approved of by them? It could be somebody in your life right now, it could be somebody in the past that you could journal about and release and let go of. Ooh, where have you given your power away? Your skeleton card says it wasn't closure, open, ending, unanswered, emotional hangover. So, where you could journal about this, great journaling idea. Where in my life do I feel like I have not received closure? Writing about it, and through writing about it, you give yourself the closure. Or do you feel like you haven't had the answers to all the questions you've had about a certain someone or a certain situation or relationship? Your other card says, "No one's coming to steal your spotlight, hun. You're the main character. Start acting like it." Confidence, empowerment, and spotlight. So, you know what's kind of interesting, Angela? I just saw in my vision Postmasters. I'm sure you've heard of it, where people get together and they do public speaking. That actually just came in for you as I'm looking at this card. So I feel like even if you're like, "Oh my God, I don't want to do that. I hate public speaking." I'd probably say, and that's why you should do it. So maybe look into see if you have a local Toastmasters group. But I feel like the message I'm getting in my ear right now is this is a chapter for you on endings and new beginnings, not shying away from the past, healing the past, and allowing yourself to be seen and heard more. So endings and beginnings feels like a theme. I would really encourage you to do some public speaking, and you can email me and tell me that you're doing it or that you found a group that you're gonna join. But I just feel like the universe wants you to express yourself more. That you have a lot to say and people want to hear it. Beautiful. Your bonus card says surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. This is the reminder that there's a lot of things we're not in control of. People, what they say, what they do. So just allow things to be what they are without trying to force a change. Mm. I love those. Keep me posted, Angela. I want to hear if you're going to do a public speaking group. And remember, if you have resistance with it, it may be because you're supposed to lean into it more. Sometimes when we have the greatest resistance, we actually have the greatest treasure there. Okay. Yolanda M. from Canada. Last week, I thought you were from California. Now I know better. So, Yolanda, what do we have for Yolanda? Yellow envelope. Your affirmation card says there's beauty right here in the eye of the storm. There is growth in unsteadiness. There is rest in the weariness. There is peace right here, even in the unknown. This card makes me feel like getting comfortable with not having the answers. I know that sounds funky when we're on Card-a-Palooza right now and you're looking for some insight, but I think this card is reminding you that you will have the answers, you will have clarity, you will have your own intuitive hunches, and that it's okay not knowing what's going to come next. It's okay. It's okay. And so if there's anything about the future that you feel fearful about, try to lean in more to connecting with the universe, to connecting with your higher self, with your soul, connecting with your loved ones on the other side, connecting with your guardian angel, just remembering that you have all of these beings in the unseen, the spirit realm that are there for you every day. And they're watching over you and they're cheering you on. And they are not going to let you completely crash and burn. And so, even if something slightly goes off the tracks, you will be nudged and you will be guided back onto the road, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. If your thoughts, your bonus card is surrender your ego. And whenever I see this card, because I work with this deck a lot, it's the card that says, choose your thoughts that you actually want to believe. So I would notice, pay attention in the next 7 days, the thoughts that you're saying to yourself. And when there's a thought that goes through your head, ask yourself over the next week, is this thought one that I still believe? Is this a thought that I am saying yes to? Or do I want to replace this thought with something else? Because whatever you are thinking, that is an order to the universe to say, bring me more of this, please. So notice where your stories are not supporting the you and the life that you really do want to have. But yeah, so surrender ego is about like the mind and the thoughts and um, where it's being your friend and where it's not being your friend. You might also feel aligned to do some subconscious work. Um, Examples of that could be like hypnotherapy, could be like binaural beats, work with the brain. I mentioned sacredacoustics.com earlier. So you might also find that there's a file on there that you want to work with to help get your brain waves into a different frequency that support the vision that you actually have for your life. Your skeleton card says you knew it, you ignored it. Intuition, ignorance, and self betrayal. Trust your intuition. Yolanda, the universe is speaking to you. Take the blindfold off. Trust the nudges. And when you feel like there's a red flag, trust that there is a red flag. When people show you who they are, believe them. Okay? Other card says, universe, don't take X back requests. Stop manifesting their return. Manifest your refund. Closure, compensation, and humor. Laughing about life. This card reminds me about what we were just talking about with, like, getting your thoughts on track and watching them for the next 7 days, because it's a habit of choosing new thoughts. But it says, "Stop manifesting their return, manifest your refund." So in other words, what I get from this card is getting clearer about your vision. What is it that you want to manifest? So I would do that as part of your homework over the next week is write out a new story about what you actually want from your life moving forward. You could even think about it as like 3 years from now, what do I want my life to be like? And then choose the thoughts that complement what it is that you want. Where you want to be, what you want to feel in 3 years. 3 is the number they gave you, so think about it in the next, where do I want to be in 3 years? So you've got some homework. Thanks, Yolanda. I'll get that out to you. All right, Cynthia C, Las Vegas. We got another Vegas. Sweet. Let's see what your card is. Letting go of the past. Okay, so your affirmation card is I'm allowed to be happy right here and now, even if everything hasn't fallen fully into place. So this card says choose happiness now. Choose it now. We can choose happiness in any moment of any day. Yeah, even the really, really hard days that you get to choose happiness right now. And so if there is anything in your life that you don't feel truly happy about, how can you make different choices and think different thoughts that help you feel happy about that area of your life? Because happiness is a choice. Okay. So do maybe like a happiness audit of your life and see, like you could do like happy and a not happy, like a kind of like a pro con list. Like, what are you really happy about that's happening in your life right now? And then where do you not feel that happy in your life right now? And then the things that you're not happy about, what can you shift and adjust so that you do feel happy or at least content with those things? Your skeleton card says replaying the breakup, mental loops, guilt, and overanalysis. So when it comes to those themes, I would journal about where you've been replaying the past and leaning into the healing of the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a romantic relationship. It's just the imagery on the card. But is there anything in your life that you have felt guilty about? And write that out and release it and let it go and forgive yourself. Or is there anybody that you've been blaming for something? And can you move closer to forgiving them and healing that part of yourself? The other card says, it's giving couch captivity as the vibe. Girl, your comfort zone is a trap. Fear, stagnation, and growth are the key words here. This makes me feel like, yeah, and spirit saying in my ear right now, can you take on a new hobby? Can you get outside of your comfort zone? Feels like spirit is inspiring you to try something new and different that you haven't done before. So look at different activities that you have in your area and they're saying sign up and go. So if there's been a little bit too much rest and relaxation, spirit just makes me feel like you need to be in front of new people. You need to be around new people. So spirit's giving you a month. They just said 30 days in my ear to choose something that you can go and do. It could be a one-time class, could be something you sign up for that's multi-week. It's something that sparks some happiness for you. Okay? So email me. I'm making you accountable. I'll be your accountability buddy. email me once you've signed up for something because I want to hear what it is that you signed up for. And the bonus card you got is overcoming fear. So if you have any fear or trepidation about doing that, this card is like, do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. It says, I will transcend every loss. So it's also part of the loss and letting it go from the past that we talked about, but overcoming fear. So this feels like the next chapter and doing something you haven't done before. So I actually love that for you. So Cynthia, I'll get that out to you. Thank you. Can't wait to hear what you sign up for. All right. Victoria W. from Pocatello, Idaho. Victoria. Pocatello. Awesome. Let's see what you get. Your affirmation card says, I am a light that will not be dimmed. Amen to that. I am a light that will not be dimmed. Please, when you tape this up somewhere, take a picture of it. Show me that you put this up somewhere. Yes, you are not meant to be dimmed. Your skeleton card says invited but not wanted. Exclusion, misfit, emotional distance. And it says, oops, double booked. So it's like a skeleton on a date and the date doesn't show up. So where do you feel that you want to give more of yourself? And where do you feel like you want to pull away from certain people or certain groups? Spirit's saying to journal about where, when in your life you had felt different than other people, and not from like trying to relive any of those like sad memories, but instead maybe going back into the past and journaling about where you didn't feel like you fit in, but from the perspective of you being unique. It's like the card says, I'm a light that will not be dimmed. I think this is more about the universe saying that you are special, you are unique, and that is to be celebrated, not hidden. And then you got keep bar right where it is. Your standards aren't too high, their effort is too low. Keywords expectation, self worth, and self value. So, this is the card that says keep your high standards, do not lower them for people. So, feels like you're supposed to shine brightly, be exactly who you are in your own unique self, and don't dim your light to fit in. Don't dim your light so that someone likes you more. Don't dim your light because someone else feels more comfortable around you. So, your message was loud and clear. So, keep me posted and send me a picture of where you put this affirmation card up. Thanks, Victoria. All right. Diana P is next. Diana P. Let's see what your envelope is. You get a yellow one. Your affirmation card says, I can feel it rising within me. I was made to feel love, to give love, to search for beauty in our everyday. So, where, Diana, can you slow things down just a bit in your day to day life where you can begin to notice the natural beauty, the beautiful things that are already around you? Where can you notice beauty more? So, slowing down more. Maybe even like the things you're doing in your life, like drinking coffee, like, can you do it a little more slowly? Can you try to embody and be more in the present moment? Not in the past, not in the future, but can you try to be here more in this moment? And so doing things a little bit more slowly and looking for the beauty in every day feels like you just unlock a new level of flow by doing that. So, in the coming days, try to see how you can flow more. Even the way you speak, maybe even slow it down a little bit more. Be in the here and now is what spirit is saying again in my ear. Your skeleton card says, "Don't look at me." Avoiding eye contact like a pro, social anxiety, shame, and discomfort. So, where do you feel like you have been hiding? I said it earlier in the broadcast, but I'm feeling this again for your cards is it's okay to be choosy about who you're spending time with and places that you feel like you want to go or you don't want to go. You do not need to go anywhere that you feel like the energy is too much. But I would practice doing protection, being inside of a ball of light each morning, the start of your day, and asking anything that is not in your highest and best interest to bounce off of that ball of light. And then the end of your day, doing some kind of energy release, like brushing off your body like this and all over, you know, anything that is not mine, release the source, be gone, be gone, be gone. You can say something like that and just keep sweeping the body until you feel that shift. And then your other card says, sometimes it's just bad decisions. Not every drama is karma. Mistakes, ownership, and humor are the key words for this card. What I feel with this, yeah, they just slammed a book shut. Just heard, I saw a book and then I heard it slam shut. Anywhere where you have told yourself that you deserved the bad thing or that the other person deserved the bad thing that happened to them, I would journal about that and let that go. I would journal about it and let it go. Anywhere where you feel like there have been people in your life that have created drama. Oh, yeah. And they just had me do a big deep breath and are saying, release it, let it go. They're saying you don't need to be in places that create more drama, more chaos. So this feels like slowing life down and being much more discerning about your energy and clearing your energy and letting go of the drama and the chaos. So thank you, Diana. Appreciate you being here. Ari Sarah is next from Redondo Beach, California. All right. You get a yellow envelope. Your affirmation card says, I love myself and trust who I was made to be. I trust, I love, I trust. Okay. So we have love and trust as some themes. Ah. So your skeleton card says, being too much again, rejection, overexpression, and shame. So spirit is saying very loudly in my ear right now, you are not too much. Anywhere in your life that you have been feeling shame or rejection or someone saying you're too much, consider journaling about it, meditating on it. You are not too much. I would want you in the sequin jacket, just like the skeleton, being loud, being noisy, whoever it is that you are, be it. The people who are going to be for you will be for you, and the people that are not for you, the universe will redirect. Okay? It's about releasing shame, releasing the belief that you can't be everything that you are. You can be. Give yourself permission. Your other card says, best filter you'll ever wear. Self-love looks good on you, confidence, glow, and attraction. Makes sense, right, of everything they just said. So can you do a little bit more self-care in your life? I would say over the next 4 weeks, Spirit is suggesting that you do one act of self care every week that is put on your calendar that is just for you. So you can create a list of ideas of things you want to do that feel like they fill up your cup and then do one thing a week. So you got 4 things you've got to do, one per week according to Spirit. So don't let the opportunity pass you by. Go do some self care and remember that you are lovable and beautiful exactly as you are. And you don't have to change for anyone. All right. Ashley M. from Hinton, Virginia is up next. Let's see what you get. Green envelope. These cards. All right. Your affirmation card says, when your thoughts start to race, breathe in fully, look deeper. Peace is waiting for you there. Ooh. Are you taking deep enough breaths? Ashley would be my first question. Are you taking enough deep breaths? Are you here in the here and now, or is your mind too connected to the past or the future? If you're feeling confusion and you're looking for clarity, bring yourself back to the present moment. Do some deep breaths. You could do a box breath, like a 4 count into the nose, hold for 4, breathe out of the mouth for 4, and then hold for 4, and do that for, you're saying 5 minutes. And that'll help you feel more calm and more clear because the answers are in the present moment, right? Your skeleton card says, you've been blocked, blocked AF, cut off, disbelief, avoidance. Yeah. So Spirit's saying in my ear that what could be a perceived roadblock is a redirection. And so in the next 3 to 4 weeks, if you are coming up against a roadblock, have faith that the universe is giving you a redirection that is in your highest and best interest. And then your other card says, half your problems equals sleep deprivation. You don't need a sign, you need a nap. It says SAS, recharge, nap culture. So, are you getting enough rest? Is there anything calming, soothing that you could listen to before you go to sleep at night? It's kind of like I feel like I'm coming back to the present moment again, like bringing yourself back into this moment, your breath before you go to sleep. So, see if you can find an audio file that you really like that just helps you feel like you're taking a load off and listen to it before bedtime every night and see how that starts to shift how you're feeling and moving through life. But I would practice the box breath every day for the next 30 days, the 4 4 4 4 4 4 4 breath and see how you feel. So you've got a little homework, but I know you'll be good for it. All right, thanks, Ashley. James G from Dallas, Texas. What's up, James? You are going to have an orange envelope. Your affirmation card says there is beauty in the waiting, in the becoming, in the hard stretching seasons of growth. So there's beauty in all of it. There's beauty in all of it. There's beauty in the good days, beauty in the hard days. And the hard is stretching you. It's stretching you. It's making you more, I feel like, more of who you are. So it feels like you're stepping more and more into what feels like, yeah, what Spirit just said is that you're stepping into this version of you that's going to feel more like you than ever before. What a great place to be, where you feel like, yes, I'm free to be me. I'm free to make the choices that I want to make. I'm free to say the things that I want to say. Just feels like a new level of liberation. And I think now through the end of summer, it feels like you're really going to be embodying that. It's going to feel, I think, like a big exhale. So good for you. Your skeleton card says, putting off feeling again, delayed grief, resistance, or shutdown. So notice if there is anything going on in your life or in your relationships where maybe your first instinct was to shut down or to pull away. And it's okay if you feel like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be involved. That's a boundary. That's good. Is there anything about it that you feel like you still need to process or understand more deeply? So, if there is anything that's a little bit tricky right now, see if you can lean into what it is that the universe is trying to show you, like get the deeper lesson with it. And then the other one says, no, you're not dying. Yes, it sucks. Healing feels like garbage before it feels like growth. Huh. Resilience, patience, and struggle. I would actually encourage you to do some journaling around how resilient you actually are, how far you've come. Write it out. That unmute yourself from Anne Randolph. I talked about it earlier, but you can look it up. Anne Randolph, unmute yourself. That's actually coming in for you too. Writing, writing more. Yeah. I feel like the writing for you feels like here are the mountains that I have overcome. Yeah, it's like a celebration of your life. You're not dying. Celebration of your life though, of like the mountains that you have so graciously overcome. And sometimes maybe not so graciously, but on the other side of it, I think you've been met with a lot of grace, like grace for yourself, grace for the universe, grace for the journey. So beautiful cards. I'll get these out to you with your letter and your sticker. So thank you, James. Okay. Uh, I'm going to say Gaja. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. Thanks for being here. Okay. Let's see what cards you get. Your affirmation card says, when I give up the need for others' approval, I am free to become who I truly am. So, not looking for other people's approval. This one's come up a lot tonight. It's like when we tie ourselves to what other people think about us, we give our power away. And so, what if you went through life and you operated your life not looking for validation from other people because you've already validated yourself? Your skeleton says reading old text like a novelist, sentimentality, cringe, obsession. This card, it's a little bit sassy, but where have you been thinking about the past or romanticizing the past? Um, so it wouldn't surprise me if over the next month, if you felt like purging the past, even more so. I'm just feeling this nudge from spirit to encourage you to do daily journaling and morning pages, which I've talked about before, but morning pages is 3 blank pieces of paper and a pen, and you write until the pages are full. That's what I'm feeling like for you. Like every day, getting up in the morning, setting your alarm a little bit earlier, and just purging it out all on the piece of paper. They're saying you're going to have like incredible insights by doing it. If you're feeling a little like, yes, let's do it, they're saying 21 days in a row. Okay. So then you have the card that says, stop waiting. Romanticize your own damn life. Independence, joy, and creativity. So there you go. Creativity, writing. I would do morning pages. And if you want to read more about morning pages and what that is, it's from the book called The Artist's Way. Very popular book. You'll find it on Amazon. Um, yeah, let me know if you end up doing the 21-day challenge. And I'd love to hear how you are after the 21 days. So I'll be rooting for you, but I would also like an email update. Thank you. Laura T is next from Raleigh, North Carolina. Orange envelope. Your affirmation card says, today, negative thoughts will not be welcome. I would like you to take a picture of where you put this card up and email it to me because I want to see where you have it front and center, where you are reminding yourself that your thoughts become what your life is and that you are choosing the good thoughts. You're choosing the uplifting thoughts. You're choosing opportunity and abundance that's going through your head, not the negative, pessimistic thoughts. So put this somewhere, take a picture of it, send it to me. Love that. Your skeleton card says too many dings, not enough peace, fragmented focus, and tech burnout. So, where do you have too many notifications? Where are you plugged in to media, to headlines, to people that are noisy or dramatic? Spirit's asking that you take a look at all of that and see where you can pull your energy back into you. Feels like you might be a little bit too scattered right now. So remember, like I've said already in this broadcast, it's okay to say no. It's okay to turn off notifications on your phone. It's okay not to watch the news. It's okay. And just notice how unplugging from certain places can help you feel like yourself again, can help you feel more relaxed. Your other card says, stop mistaking chaos for chemistry. That's not a twin flame, it's a fire hazard, obsession, illusion, and danger. Yeah, it feels like it goes back to what I was just saying about what are you plugged into? Because it feels like there are misleading or untrue information. So it could be like social media stuff that you're seeing or um, that's not true, but it's like this energy of panic or fear. So just notice, like, do a little bit of an energy audit what you're plugged into and try to pull back on those in the next, right? They're saying 14 days. So try it for the next 2 weeks and see how you feel. And then you can make the decision at that point if you want to just leave things like notifications off or not talk to certain people that create a lot of chaos and drama. But try it for 2 weeks and see how you feel. I think you're going to feel a lot better. So Laura's going to do an energy audit to everything she's plugged into. And let me know how you feel after those 2 weeks. Send me an email. I'd love to hear about how that's affected your energy. Kristen B is next, Dayton, Ohio. Kristen, thanks for being a part of Card-a-Palooza. You're going to have a yellow envelope. You have an affirmation card that says, today I will set the stage for peace, joy, fun, and calm in my day. Put this somewhere where you're going to see it before you leave the house. This could be like on the inside of a door that you normally exit out of so that you remember to infuse this energy into your day of peace, joy, fun, and calm. Yes, yes, yes. Your skeleton card says toxic but familiar, pattern, attachment, and comfort and pain. What have you been putting up with for way too long? But maybe you got used to it. And now the universe is showing up across your pathway today at Card-a-Palooza saying, hey, you've been participating in toxicity for too long. So what have you thought about exiting that toxic relationship or situation? It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a relationship of any kind. So what have you normalized or what have you just gotten used to? But if you really sit and think about it, you're like, you know what? This really isn't serving me. I don't want this thing anymore. And then your other card says stop. Stop cosplaying fear as guidance. That wasn't intuition. That was anxiety in a cape. So this is the energy of anxiety, self-awareness, and perception. What's coming in is something I said a little bit earlier, and I'm seeing it on her cape as well. It's like a little heart shape of when you're feeling fearful or you feel like you've been around people that just drain your own dang battery. I would do some heart chakra guided meditations. They're saying 3 times a week. I would aim for 3 times a week, 5 to 10 minutes each time. I feel like it's like this realization over the next 30 days where you're going to notice, like, I'm going to stop saying no to that. And I'm going to get right with myself and I'm going to create more peace and calm inside of myself and inside of my own life. So it feels like there's going to be something you're going to be saying no to. You're not going to participate in it anymore. And you're going to create more of that calmness for yourself. So that feels like a good plan. All right, Kristen, I'll get these sent out to you. Thank you for being a part of this. Lynette is next. Lynette. Ooh, is DK Denmark maybe? I will figure it out when I start addressing envelopes. Lynette, I see your envelope. Let me grab it. You're getting a pink one. Your cards are when I accept myself as I am better able to grow into who I am made to be. When I accept myself as I am better able to grow into who I am made to be. Accepting yourself, radical acceptance, all the parts of you. All the good parts, which are the easy things to accept, but the other parts of you that maybe you have criticized yourself about or things that you've carried around for a long time, feelings. It's like, you know what? What if today I wake up and I just radically accept everything about myself and who I am? Everything, every choice I've made, and all the ways I've showed up, and all the ways maybe I haven't showed up. I'm going to accept it anyway. I'm going to extend grace and forgiveness to myself entirely. I would love that to be a part of your new morning ritual, your new morning story that you start your day with. Your skeleton card says enlightened for 4 hours. Spiritual high, reality check. He's like floating up into the white light. So this would indicate that it's great to do these spiritual practices that get your energy really, really high. But if you're feeling scattered at any point, I would recommend doing guided meditations for grounding and bringing yourself back in and connecting with the earth because we are having a human experience in a human body. So we can get really high in the energy and we can unlock all kinds of intuition and psychic abilities. But the balance really comes in when we raise our frequency, but still keep ourselves in our body and connected to earth. Yeah. Your other card is rejection is just divine spam filter. God didn't ghost you. He blocked him for you. Protection, divine timing, and redirection. So, this is the reminder that the universe has your best interest in mind. It might not always be your timing, but it will always be the universe's timing. So, remember and set that intention that the universe is working on your behalf and try to just let the universe do its work. And so, if someone or something gets redirected off of your pathway, remember that it's for a reason. So, thank you, Lynette. I'll get these sent out to you. Appreciate it. All right, Linda C. Linda C, what's up? Okay, from Grosse Point Farms, Michigan. You got a pink envelope. Your affirmation card says these twists and turns may be leading me down a path that looks differently than I had imagined, but I can still find peace here. The divine unfolding of it all. Trusting that you are exactly where you're supposed to be at the right moment and setting that intention. The universe connects me with the right people at the right time. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The universe is lining up beautiful blessings and they are bringing them to me now. Allowing that to be your morning story. Skeleton says, even your spirit guides quit. Disillusionment and abandonment. Even your spirit guide quit. It's kind of funny, right? I think it's kind of funny. Your other card says, delete your thumbs, rest, delete the text, block the number, reclaim your peace, closure, detachment, and release. So it feels to me, they just said there's a treadmill of lessons that you have been learning in your life. And there may be a pattern that's showing up for you right now, Linda, that you feel like, gosh, I feel like I've done this before. I feel like I healed that before. I feel like I've done this before and I thought I was over it. I thought I'd gotten to the bottom of my healing with this. And then it feels like there's like another layer that comes up. And so what I'm feeling called to tell you is this lifetime is filled with things that feel like an onion. Like we just keep peeling back layer after layer after layer. It does get easier with time. And so give yourself some grace if it feels like, oh my gosh, I feel like I already healed this. Why is this coming up again? And I would just watch for it over the next 3 or 4 weeks that you are not doing anything wrong, but that you're just peeling back more layers of healing. And to try to approach that with curiosity. Why is this pattern showing up again? Or why is this theme coming up again? Get curious about it, write about it, lean into it. Because that curiosity and uncovering those layers will help you to actually heal it more. So give yourself grace in the journey, even if it feels like I already did this. We never finish on Earth School. But they're saying like the onion gets lighter and lighter and lighter. So give yourself grace, please. So Linda, I'll get those out in the mail to you. So thank you. Oh, we got another one. There's another one on here. Okay, so let me pull your other envelope. Look, send me one that jumps. Thank you. Okay. So Linda, here is your other envelope. That affirmation card says, when I close my eyes, breathe, peace washes over me. I just got this vision of you laying in bed and doing like breath work. So I would suggest that you come up with some kind of file that is specific to guiding you through a breath technique. Find like a simple one. I think if you type in on YouTube, like breath technique, YouTube, bedtime, you'd probably find some different suggestions and you can try some different audio files. But I feel like you laying in bed at night and doing these breath techniques and having more active dreams, remembering your dreams more, and really feeling like you can let the day that you've just had really go. So it's part of that like layer that they were showing a minute ago about all the onion pieces like coming off. So try some different audio files and see what feels most aligned for you. But it feels like It's like opening up a whole new world, a whole new perspective, but also helping you to feel deeply, deeply relaxed. Your skeleton card says falling for red flags, attraction, ignored warnings, and drama. And the skeleton's holding all these red flags. So spirit saying in my ear that it is okay to take things slowly with people of all kinds, all different kinds of relationships, and that they need to show you through action that they are trustworthy. The other card says Twitter is not your therapist. Not every shadow work session needs a public post. Privacy, restraint, and boundaries. Boundaries is the key word that I'm getting with this card. So again, it feels like it's okay to slow down with people. Spirit just said talk is cheap. So if there's anyone, in this next month that comes into your awareness where you're like, there's something about this. This just doesn't, it's almost like, is it too good to be true? Are they overselling themselves? Crush your hunch on it, but it feels like pumping the brakes a bit and having them show through action. It's like, don't just believe everything someone tells you. Watch what they do. Okay. So I will get your envelope off to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Caroline from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Caroline, how you doing? You are going to have an orange envelope. Your affirmation card says, I have the capacity to love others more fully when I love myself first. So you got to love yourself more, love yourself first, because from that full cup, from that full heart of really loving yourself through and through, then you will be able to take a cup that is spilling over because it's so full and give to other people. So they're showing me the analogy of on an airplane where you put your own oxygen mask on first. They want you to put your own oxygen mask on first and then help other people around you. So there might be like a reshuffling, a prioritization of who is the priority and can you put yourself at the top of your own list. Your skeleton card says, don't panic, faking confidence again, insecurity, pretense, self doubt. So, where does the self doubt come in? Because now we have a second card that's about self love and confidence. So, where do you feel like you can infuse real confidence into your life? If you feel like you've been hiding somewhere in terms of like not wanting to be seen or heard or not feeling like you can say the things that you actually want to say, I would do some practice with some humming, like chanting or humming. You can do Om, which I talked about earlier in the stream, but it just sounds like Om and holding it out and like feeling your throat expand. And that should help give you some more confidence. Um, yeah. Try not to be your own worst critic. Try to speak to yourself like your own best friend. And then your other card is post breakup equals main character arc. Glow up is the best revenge, confidence, transformation, and comeback. So again, it feels more like the spotlight energy, like the glow up energy. Like you are supposed to be seen and heard more. And so if this feels a bit uncomfortable, maybe lean into it a little bit more. You can even look up on YouTube things like kirtan music, Kirtan, kirtan music. And even listen to that and maybe learn a few kirtan songs and just in the privacy of your own home, sing them so that you feel like it's safe to be seen. And so if there's anywhere that, you can think of that you want to journal about where you didn't feel safe being seen or heard, You can do it from a curiosity perspective where you're just acknowledging it without judgment and allowing it to be released. Because you are supposed to shine brightly, is what I'm feeling. So, Caroline, thank you. Thanks for being a part of it. I'll get your cards out in the mail to you. So, thank you. All right, Maura, I see that Maura has 2 envelopes. So, let me pick the 2 envelopes. Maura. Da-da-da. Okay. So, let's see. I'm going to lay these all out. Let's do your 2 affirmation cards. If I can pick them up off my keyboard. Your light shines brightest when you recognize all that you have to offer. Give yourself some more credit, would you? Acknowledge like just how amazing you really are and all the things that you're doing for other people. I don't think the spirit just keeps saying, like, give yourself more credit. That's what I keep hearing in my ear. The other one says, when I trust that goodness awaits me, I am free to release my fears. That is a good one. When I trust that goodness awaits me, I am free to release my fears. It's the leaning into faith over fear. They just showed this being put like in a book, like a bookmark. So if you're reading a book, this is supposed to be inside of a book and you're remembering it as you read. So maybe this becomes your new bookmark. So Mora, let's see what your skeleton cards say. Your soul left the meeting. Disconnection, existential dread, boredom. Like I actually feel the sensation of probably the ghost yawning. I feel boredom. So, what is it that you want to do that will create more excitement and pizzazz in your life? Is there a new project? Is there a business? Is there a hobby? What is it that you want to start that's going to create more excitement for you in your life? If you've been feeling bored, come up with a list of 10 things that will make you feel like fun. So, a list of 10 activities, put it on your refrigerator and do one fun thing a week. Because when we have fun, our frequency gets higher. And then as our frequency gets higher, we actually get more clarity, we get more intuition. So, one thing a week that's fun. So, come up with a list of 10 so that you have ideas to pull from easily. Put it on your calendar. The other one says, still waiting on a sign, doubt, impatience, divine silence. So, if there's been any feeling of wanting to connect more with spirit, with source energy, Uh, if you're not doing daily journaling and guided meditation, I would strongly suggest it. Even if the guided meditation each day is only for 3 to 5 minutes, I would do the journaling. You can pick a different prompt every day. There's lots of resources online you can find to make a huge list or use, AI to create a list for you if you're open to that. But I think you need to create a little bit more solitude and silence in order to connect with spirit. Yeah. Your other 2 cards say, "Let go already. Even your cards want you single. Clarity, wake up call, release." So this just feels like, what am I gonna let go of? It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but, um, got a bunch of tarot cards in front of her on the card itself. What is it that you are gonna let go of? So over this next month, where do you feel like your life is giving you some kind of wake-up call that maybe you've been ignoring? Maybe you're like, "I know, I know, I know. I should let this go." But now the universe is saying, like, it really is time. So over the next month, watch for what it is that your soul, like your body, where you just feel like, I'm gonna let this go. I am gonna release this. So, but I think you already know, like, have a hint of what this is because I'm getting my sign for yes. Like that you already have a hunch of what it is you're supposed to release. You just haven't done it yet. And then the other card says, you're starving while calling it fine dining. Stop romanticizing crumbs, self worth, scarcity, and denial. So, where have you been romanticizing something in your life? And it could be connected to the other card about like letting go and releasing. Where have you been making it better than what it actually is? So, I would think over the next month that you may feel like you're done with the crumbs and you're realizing that your standards need to be higher. Yeah. Woo, you got a ton of cards. Oh my goodness. I may need to send them in 2 envelopes. It might be too thick, but we'll see. We'll see. So I'll put these on here. Probably have to go up to the counter at the post office and figure that out. So thanks, Maura. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Michelle M. from Scottsdale, Arizona. See what cards you get. Your affirmation card says, when I trust that goodness awaits me, I am free to release my fears. I feel like I just read that one, but it's from, I only have one of these decks. So I guess you are also supposed to release fear and lean into faith. Yeah. Funny. I'm like, wait, I only have one. Like, was there a duplicate? Obviously, the universe puts the cards in your envelope that you need to hear. Um, yeah. Every morning, the universe is bringing me goodness today. The universe is blessing me today. I want that to be your morning story. Your skeleton card says to do list, made the list, ignored the list, guilt, avoidance, and shutdown. So, what are you ignoring? What is it that you know you're supposed to be doing and you haven't done? It might be a to do list, but it might be something else where it feels like, I know I've been putting it off. So, where have you been procrastinating? Where have you been procrastinating? The other card says, stop editing a story that flopped. Your ex isn't an unfinished project. Endings, detachment, and closure. So this feels like an end to procrastination. Yeah, they're saying in the next 10 to 14 days you will feel a fire under your feet where you're going to have a lot more momentum and clarity and action. So I would say in like from today through like the next 10 days, I would get they're showing me like getting a journal and writing down your inspirations, your dreams, your visions, what it is you want to accomplish. But when you hit day 10 to 14, feels like you actually start creating a lot of action and getting things crossed off the list, which helps you feel so much lighter. And if there's also an idea that you're like, gosh, I really want to do that, I'm not sure. This is the yes from the universe saying, like, absolutely, you can do it. Stop delaying, get to it. The world is waiting for you. That's what I'm feeling with that. So, stop procrastinating. Pretty clear. Whatever it is that's been on the back burner, it feels like it's supposed to be moving to the front burner. So keep me posted on that. That sounds exciting. All right, we got a few more, and then we'll do the drawing for the necklace. Andrea S., Cincinnati, Ohio. What's up, Andrea? All right, let's see what you get. Your affirmation card says, there is no better time than now to look around with wonder and gratitude and hopefulness. Wonder, gratitude, and hopefulness. If you're not currently doing a gratitude journal, I would incorporate that into your nightly routine ASAP, listing off 3 things that you're grateful for and try not to repeat anything. And even the things that are hard, the roadblock, see where you can find gratitude for the roadblock. A little challenge to doing that at night. Yeah, thank the catalyst. Appreciate the catalyst. Hmm. But start doing it, and then after you've done it every night consistently for at least a few weeks, like, send me an email and let me know, like, what shifted for you. Okay, let's see here. Then for the skeleton, you have doing it again. Oops, definitely a bad idea. Compulsion, bad decision. So, what is the bad decision that you keep hitting the button on? Reminds me, I'm hearing in my ear that Britney Spears song. It's Oops, I Did It Again. Where do you keep hitting the same button? You're like, "Ah, crap, I hit it again. I hit it again. I hit it again." Try to learn the lesson because I think we repeat the same, quote unquote mistakes over and over again until we actually learn the lesson that we're supposed to be learning. So question what buttons you are hitting, and are they for your best interest or are they not for your best interest? And if they're not, try not to hit the button again. Your other card says your pain isn't content. Healing doesn't need a hashtag. Privacy, self-restraint, and growth. So I'm just feeling like with hitting the problem button, it doesn't need to be anything that you necessarily like need to tell people. If you have a friend or two that you trust that you want to talk to about things, that's fine. But spirits make me feel like you already know how to not hit the button. You already know logically how to not do that. You also know spiritually, like how to process through decisions that you're making and what's in your highest and best interest. So it feels like what I'm feeling from spirit is you don't really need other people's opinions on whether to hit the problem button or to not hit the problem button. You already have all the answers within you. So trust yourself. Yeah, I feel like this is the card you need to tape up to question your motives. Like, why am I hitting this button? Like, what am I supposed to be learning here? So keep me posted on the gratitude list. I'd like to hear how it's going, how you're feeling about it. Cheryl, you from Wisconsin. Let's see what card you get. What's up, Cheryl? You're gonna have a pink envelope coming to you. Your affirmation says, I didn't come this far to allow doubt to win over. I didn't come this far to allow doubt to steal the day. So, anytime you are feeling doubt about something, I would try to connect with nature in some way because it feels like nature and you feel like you can just get it out and let the trees have it. So try to find a place where you can walk. Cause I'm just seeing a ton of trees around your energy where you can go and like walk a path with the trees. And anytime you're feeling that doubt or that confusion, breathe it out, release it, and allow the trees to take it from you. Okay. You got the skeleton card that says Mercury did it, blame the stars, miscommunication, cosmic excuse, retrograde blame. So, what I'm hearing is in your conversations, in your text messages, in your emails, especially over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would just slow down the communication. Try not to assume anything. Try to choose your words a little bit more carefully. And if someone is saying something to you and you aren't sure what their motivation is, or you aren't sure why they're saying that, or you're confused, it is okay to ask some curious, open ended questions. Okay. And your other card says silence is an answer too, honey. Mixed signals equal clear answers. Awareness, perception, and reality check. It fits that card, the Mercury did it card. Try to get to the bottom of any conversation that feels confusing, is what I'm getting over those next 2 to 3 weeks. Also, um, be aware of who you're investing energy into and where that's not coming back. It's okay for you to pull your energy back into you and give yourself more space in your relationships. But try not to assume is like the thing I keep hearing in my ear from spirit. So if you are confused about something that someone has said or done, try to have a heart-centered, curious conversation where you have a willingness to hear what they have to say. Yeah. I mean, it's good practice for all of us to remember, right? I think that's good for all of us anytime, but just feels like that's what's in your energy field right now. So it's okay to slow down and get curious and say, what did you mean by that? Or, I noticed you did this. Why did that happen? Can you just tell me a little bit more? And so see if you can come up with some curious questions and lean into those. So thank you. Nicola, I think AU is Australia. All right. Coming down to the finish line here. So, Nicolette, let's see what your cards say. I start my day with intention, grace, and ease. When I'm reading this, so there's like a little section kind of down here that has a little bit more like light color. I just heard from spirit that you're supposed to write a custom like affirmation that you want to have every day. So maybe take a black marker and write it on there and let me know where you end up putting it and like what affirmation you chose for yourself. That's what spirit's saying. So you got homework already. So Nicola, let's see what your skeleton card says. Manifesting sleep, spiritual fatigue, wishful thinking, burnout, nap. He's meditating and he's meditating on going to sleep. He wants to be in his bed. Ooh, can you give yourself more permission to rest? You do not have to be all things to all people. I promise. I promise. If there is any guilt that you have around rest, napping, sleep, try to breathe that guilt out of your body and give yourself permission to rest. I'm also feeling called to suggest to you to have journal and pen right next to your bed so that you can do um, dream journaling. Even if you just remember one word, one thing, write it down. But I feel like your dreams are really speaking to you, and it feels like it enhances your creative output and what you're birthing into the world. So you and your dreams feel like they want to have this deeper connection. And even if you feel called to do like a dream interpretation class from someone, that feels like really aligned with your energy. And then you got congrats. You just sponsored the circus. You wanted red flags, not a damn parade. Awareness, choice, and wake up call. Ooh, you got sleep and you got wake up call. Some, again, like feeling that connection to the dream state. Choosing peace over chaos, choosing calm over chaos. That's what I'm also hearing. So, anywhere where you're feeling like there's drama or chaos, I would gracefully exit out of that, focus on yourself, and try to have deeper awareness with what is happening with your dream state. And I would keep that dream journal for as long as you can, but I would start it in the next, they're saying 5 days, start it in the next 5 days. So, why not just start it tonight? Why not just start it tonight? But I do think you're going to have a lot of insight and your dreams are going to be telling you a lot. They're going to be talking very loudly to you. So, keep me posted. I'd love to hear more about what you're doing with your dreams and your dream interpretation. Thanks, Nicola. Catherine B. from Nebraska. You got an orange one. Your affirmation card says, when I zoom out from the parts that overwhelm me, It's easier to give myself grace. So, where are you experiencing any kind of overwhelm, any kind of burnout? And how can you step away from that more? You do not need to be in the middle of the storm, Spirit just said. You do not need to be in the middle of the storm. You can gracefully say, just pick the last card about the circus. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm going to walk away. You guys figure that out. I don't need to be a part of this. That's what I'm getting from that card. Your skeleton card says 3 a.m., disaster, breaking news, doom scrolling at 3 a.m., insomnia, internet spiral, anxiety loop. I would do an audit of yourself over the next 7 days about what you are plugged into, what you are listening to, and see if you can get away from some of that. See if you can step away from some of that anxiety, fear, panic energy. So notice what you are plugged into in terms of media, stories, dramatic people, and see how you can unplug from that in the next 7 days, and then see how you can carry that forward for as long as you can. Feel like you just need some more peace in your life. And then your other card says, stop writing fan fiction in your head, babe. If they wanted to, they would. Period. Truth, reality check, and action. So this feels like that pulling away from the drama, from anything that feels like it spikes fear in you, and allowing yourself to see the truth more. I would be setting an intention that with the universe, show me who people really are. That's what I'm hearing in my ear. Show me the truth of who someone really is. So it's okay if you're spending a little bit more time alone, because I feel like when you have solitude, you actually feel really good in your energy field when you're by yourself. Like you don't have to be that way 24/7, but it just feels like so much lighter when you have more solitude. So I said this a few people ago, but watch what somebody does, pay attention to their actions because talk is cheap. Yeah. Yeah. Disconnect from noisy people, noisy media. All right. So, Catherine, I will get these out in the mail to you. Lots to think about. Lots to think about. Okay. Becky C. Idaho. Love that. Okay. So, Becky. Oh, you got one of these like light yellow ones. The darkness doesn't steal my light. It shines regardless. That is the confidence. Doesn't matter what's going on, whatever the roadblock is, I know my worth. I am confident. I love myself. I am resilient. I have been through things in the past and I will get through this now. Okay. For whatever reason, they're showing me a video of Joel Olstein, and like pastor of the mega church in Texas. And they just showed me this vision as I'm tuned into your energy. And they showed this where he's like pulling back a slingshot. And the thing that he was saying during the sermon, this is from years ago, is that the more the slingshot pulls back, the more resistance, the more hardships, the more challenges. It is the setback that is getting you set up for something incredible. So you think of that like resistance of like, wow, this is challenging. But then the slingshot gets released and you go farther than you've ever been before. Spirit wanted to make sure you heard that. Skeleton says it's complicated, crying over situationships, emotional investment, and rejection. So, this is asking yourself to think about people that you are investing in that you know could do better, but they're not doing better. Um, they're not doing what you know they could be capable of doing. Try to remember that you are not here to fix people. You are not here to hold people up. Um, Try to see who they really are rather than the version that you know they could be. So focus on who they actually are right now and not the, idolizing or the fantasy of what they could be, because you can see the potential in people. And I think sometimes it can get you into a bit of a jam. So try to notice like who really is worthy of investing your time and energy into, and try not to carry people. Yeah. Sometimes they get really heavy in your energy and then it weighs you down. Your other card says, stop mistaking static for signals. Your anxiety isn't intuition, it's bad Wi Fi. Anxiety, interpretation, and humor. This feels like it goes with the last card, which feels like if someone feels like a static, or it feels like we're just not on the same page, we're just not seeing eye to eye. Like, I want this, they want that, whether it's a friendship, a work buddy. It's like just wanting different things. Like, we are not going to be for everyone, and everyone's not going to be for us. So Spirit's saying be a little bit more selective about who you invest your time and energy into. Wow. Okay. Becky. So I feel like it's going to be showing up here, in the next 30 days. So just kind of keep an eye on it. But it feels like it's going to be a pattern recognition that you're going to be carrying forward for years and years to come. But Spirit wants you to learn it because you are worthy of a lot. And I think sometimes you settle for less. Lovingly, I say that. Alice from Clarita got an orange one. Alice, let's see what you got. Even in the darkest places, Even in the darkest places, if we look hard enough, hope can be found. So, this card is reminding me to tell you that Alice, in every dark tunnel of your life, and every dark night of the soul, and every roadblock or challenge, there is going to be some kind of silver lining. There's going to be blessing in every dark part of your life, of your journey. So, yes, even in the hardest days, there will be something in there that will be a treasure for your life, for your soul, for your evolution. So, nothing in your life is all bad. So, when you're going through a tough time, try to find the silver lining. Okay? It's there. Maybe you just got to shift your perspective or see it a different way. Your skeleton says, can't sleep, might spiral, overthinking, and emotional overload. This has come up already a few times during this live broadcast, but it feels like if you feel like you're overthinking, overstimulated in the mind, you're trying to find a solution, you just feel like you keep like spiraling, it means your heart might not be involved enough. So try to lean into your heart more. Listen to your heart. What does your heart want? Journal about what your heart wants. Do guided meditations for your heart. Do some long, deep, slow breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth, and try to make them as long and slow as you can. Equal inhale and exhale, and set your timer for 5 minutes. And they are suggesting you do it most days of the week. So if you can aim for 5 days a week, that's what it feels like. And it will help you to move through the busyness of your mind and bring you back to the present moment where all the clarity lives. And then your other card says bare minimum. You deserve flowers, not confusion, worthiness, love, and standards. So if someone is not meeting you where you want them to meet you, this may be a call, over the next few weeks to gracefully have a conversation about how it's not working for you, or if you feel like someone should be meeting you at a higher standard, Spirit's saying don't lower your standards, but it may mean that a relationship that you have been in of any kind may not be right for your life right now. So as the card says, you deserve flowers, not confusion. So if you are getting mixed signals from someone, or you feel like, gosh, I feel like I'm giving more than they're giving, it's okay for you to reconsider that relationship. You do not have to keep pouring your energy into something that isn't giving something back to you in the way that you feel you deserve. A lot going on in those cards. So, Alice, thank you. And I got one more. And then we will do the price drawing and we'll be out of here. I have kept Campbell way too long. Campbell, oh yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, it'll be 2 hours. I don't know how it got longer this week. I had less envelopes. Well, like 4 less envelopes. So nothing crazy, but yeah, it took longer this week. I don't know why. So Kristen, you are last, Pennsylvania. All right. You will have a yellow envelope showing up for you. So Kristen, I am free to accept the parts of myself that long for acceptance. So what parts of yourself do you feel like you've been a bit critical about? And can you use this moment with this card to radically love yourself, all of yourself? I'm talking every decision, everything you've been through. Can you commit to loving all of it? All of it. Even the stuff you wish were like shoved in a closet and the door locked forever. Can you still love all of that? Can you accept all of that? That's what Spirit's asking you to do because Spirit loves all of it. And so they're just waiting for you to come on board with loving all of it as well. Your skeleton card says social battery 0%, drained, antisocial, shut down. You do not have to go and do all of the things, but Spirit is saying it is balance. It's a balance between staying in and getting rest and taking care of yourself, but also getting out and having some fun. Because as I've discussed in the stream, fun raises your frequency and actually gives you more clarity and attracts in more abundance and blessings to your life. So, can you have more balance between going out and staying in? So, notice where it feels out of balance for you right now, and then come up with some ideas on how to bring that back into balance. Spirit is saying within the next 2 weeks that this is activated and put into motion. And then your other card says, nothing hotter than saying no. Boundaries are sexy, babe. Empowerment, limits, and self honor. If you don't feel like going, you can say no. Okay. But I also want you to notice when you are saying no because you're trying to stay in a comfort zone, because Spirit definitely wants you out and about having fun and meeting new people and laughing and socializing. So, this feels like it's a journey for you in the next few weeks of getting clearer about what it is that you want to say yes to and what you want to say no to, and not feeling guilty about saying no. But Spirit's saying you need to raise the fun quota. You need to have more fun. So I would say for your energy, doing at least one fun thing a week feels like it's in order. So just notice where you have room for rest and where you need to get out and do something fun and social to get the vibration up even higher. So you've got some homework. So, what I would love from you, since I will help you and be accountable, is I want you to take a picture of something that you are doing I'm going to give you 3 weeks. In the next 3 weeks, 21 days of you doing something fun. I want you to email me a picture of you doing the fun thing. Okay? 21 days. You can turn me down, but this is from Spirit. This is a homework assignment from Spirit. So I don't know. You might want to give it a whirl. All right. So we got through all of our envelopes. So now I'm going to pull the random number. I have a random number generator, and I'm going to tell you who the winner of the necklace is. So here we go. Drum roll. Okay, let's see who we have. Ah, so Nicola from Australia has won the necklace. So congratulations, Nicola. I will get that out in the mail to you with your card. So congratulations. Just as a reminder, it's a love stone necklace. It's really like pretty and dainty with rose quartz. So I will get that off to you. So thank you for being a part of it. Thank you to everybody for being a part of Card-a-Palooza this week. I will be doing it again next week. I may need to sort out like how to do this in a way where it's not 3 solid hours of readings. So I'll give it some thought over the next couple of days. But as always, I would recommend getting on it sooner rather than later because, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, the VIP spot sold out for today. And so we'll keep kind of modifying it and figuring out like what works the best for everybody and kind of feeling into it. But I so appreciate everybody. Yeah. So I hope you have a great night. I'm seeing if there's anything else I need to see on here that I haven't said. I don't think so. Thank you to Campbell, the moderator in the chat, my assistant, who's been helping this whole night. And yeah, we'll see you at the next Card-a-Palooza. And next week, let's talk about it on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, is where you can bring your general questions about psychic development, mediumship, what happens when we pass away, what's going on the other side. Bring all of your general questions. That'll be over on YouTube Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Add it to your calendar now. Come and join me. Bring your general questions. We'll do it for an hour together. And yeah, we just did it yesterday and it was amazing. So you can see the replay on my YouTube channel. And we'll do it again next Wednesday and then Card-a-Palooza next Thursday. So thank you again, everyone. Enjoy your night.